clap for Percy. I was waiting for that conversation to last 4 days and 4 nights. Internation joking means you can stay. Why is squeezed and Chichin Percy Lezard. Walamlam Kilchutin and we in Anishinaabe Haudenosaunee. Oh, my relatives and kin here from the Northeast, West, and South. Nothing brings me more joy than to be able to be here with you, not in front of you, with you, because as you can see, we have a two-spirit circle, right? It's stronger than those other circles that pretend to be out there to bring our people forward. Resurgence. I think without us, there is no circle. Without us, there is no bundle. Without us, there is no way forward. I have some relatives online. I shared it with our relatives in the South Pacific, and so hopefully they signed on. And I have some cousins. I know we're all cousins, but I have cousins from St. Pinkton, the village between lakes in my language, or Skelo, people of the land, which is a lot easier to say Okanagan, because the Injilkan language is about right? Not like Anishinaabe Moan, like it wants to run away. Ani Adishnakash, right? That's why I want to be like, I'll go in your canoe then. You're talking my love language, relative. Right? It means I love you, that I joke about you and your canoes in your language. But what I want to talk about, I want to bring humor because it's something that we all have had to witness. We all have had to stand and carry on our backs the harms and violence that our loved ones, ourselves, and those that we know and share in community have had to bear the burden of gender-based violence. And then to have days like October 4th and February 14th erase and disappear us and heteropaint us out of the past, where it's our responsibility to remind our relatives and kin, like our relative did with Mino Pamatsuin, or Chuk Chuk doing things in a good way with a good heart, that we are here, we are part of the solution forward. And when my name was recommended by Auntie Albert to be the writer, I at the time was working through tumultuous times as a trans two-spirit person with a relationship with an institution. And I'm sure everybody here has their own tales of institutional violence as two-spirit and trans folks. I was living that. And I also had to bring closure to the fact that the person responsible for taking my relative, Roxanne Louis, was being brought through the court of justice and they were charged. To also come into the recognition that my youngest sibling was left, content warning, trigger warning, by 4 settler folks beside a church to die, and they're still in ICU recovering. So this is not just an intellectual look at me, look at the wonderful ways we can speak. This is the blood, sweat, and tears of those who came before us, who left their moccasin tracks for us to find a way forward. This was them entrusting me with the bundle to share with you all the experiences that you've had to witness, that you have been silenced, and where you want someone to say, I see you, I value you, you are worthy. That's what that process was. Now, I had the good fortune to meet every single Friday and sometimes extra time with my relatives and kin across Canada, nation state Canada, right? I do the K's, not the C's. Because let's be very clear, we live in a white supremacist state, right? White supremacy, whiteness. And we're able to bring together all of our lived experiences, all the work of decades of our relatives and kin who have constantly gone to the streets, who've constantly gone to people's houses to bring justice to those who have been reported missing and were later found murdered. And we're able to build a framework that if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We all have an origin creation story. We need to find out what part of ours is as Two-Spirit people, Indigiqueer folks. Hence us creating a narrative and a timeline that for someone picking it up doesn't just go, oh, what else do you want? No, we've always been here. That's what you're going to know. It's not about what we want. It's about you're going to know that we are here. You're going to know that we are the way forward. And you're going to know what happened to us was real. And then we figured, well, I was firekeeper centric. And we had these other relatives and kins in circles talking about frameworks. Well, we already created an opportunity for us to share our origin story as Two-Spirit people, to remind all of our relatives, Indigenous, non-Indigenous, that we've been here by saying, look at the tracks that others have left. Look at where we're going. Now let's look at the ways in which gender-based violence has impacted us individually, communally, and systemically. Hence the gender-based framework of the fire. But we also did not want to perpetuate what our Black femmes, Black thinkers, and Black trans folks gifted us with in terms of trauma porn. We are more than just the violence that happens to us. We are beautiful, we are brilliant, and we are vibrant. Hence us sharing the way forward in terms of futurities. We wanted to actualize, we're not just the harms that you see from us. We're not just going to dance drag, even though there's many that are so wonderful at it, but that's just not who we are. We're not here to just perform Indigenous. We're here to be Two-Spirit gifts and medicine bundles. And so that's what went into the process. And that's what I wanted to acknowledge. And that's what I was entrusted with of all the times we met in ceremony, over our council fires, in wanting to bring together the collective experience to say that this is not it, but this is part of the solution forward. You have had since the Royal Commission on Aboriginal People to take direction from Indigenous people on what works best for us. You have had since 2015 the TRC to take direction from the thousands of survivors of the 126 years of Indian residential schools, which you continue to erase the experiences and gave us 1/2 page for the Two-Spirit experience, by the way. You have our 60 Scoop, myself included, who are showing you the way forward about acknowledging the harms of the various systems that you continue to force upon us. So now you can take direction from the Two-Spirit Indigiqueer trans folks when we want to talk about and center violence and the ways that we're resilient and the way that we're picking up our languages, being invited back into the circle with safety, to pick up the tools to carry our people forward. And that's why I wrote and wanted to be part of that process, because I wanted to see your beautiful faces. And I wanted to hand this bundle off to the next relatives to carry it forward. And so with that, I raise my hands up to you, Kukukst, and we, Limlam, thank you so much.
Thank you, Percy.